So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build your Facebook page for £1 a day. Whether you're starting out in business or you've got a developed business, one of the frustrations of being on Facebook is the percentage of people who see and engage with your posts is tiny compared to the people who may like it or the people who you may know love your business and the services and products you offer. So in this short video, I'm going to give you some tips about how to grow your Facebook audience and how to get people to engage with your page. Now, a couple of years ago, you'll remember that Facebook preferenced people and profiles over pages. They did this to protect the quality of their social network. So what this basically means is not everybody who's following and liking your page will see what you're posting. So this is a real challenge for a business owner who might have great products and services, great offers to put out there that nobody's actually seeing. So there's a couple of things that you can do that will actually help people find your page, like your page, and engage with your page. So we're going to look at a few of those and you can implement them. And if there's anything in this video that you think, ask some more questions, you can put it into the comments here, or you can drop us an email and I'll put my email on the end slide of this video. So the first thing about a Facebook page is it needs to be complete. You need to put your phone number, your address details, all the data that people want to know about your business. Website address. This just helps build the credibility of the page. Headers, all of those things, logos in the profile picture of the page needs to be filled in. Without these, you look kind of a bit two-bit, a bit kind of amateurish, so you really need to fill them out properly. Make sure that it really does say in your header image what you do, so that people don't get confused with different pages, and make sure the logo that you use in your profile shot is clear, that it says who you are, so that people don't mistake you for somebody else. So in this video, we're going to look at how to grow your Facebook page for £1 a day. But before we get to that, I need to talk about the content. Because Facebook has an algorithm, this algorithm is basically deciding which pieces of content, which posts to show to who. And there's no actual published authoritative information that Facebook publishes about how the algorithm works that you can just, read through and copy and paste. A lot of it is down to interpretation and experience. So I'm going to share my experience of how this works. So generally speaking, if you've engaged with a page in the last 48 hours and you like that page, you will see that in your feed probably for the next 48 hours. And if you use the 48-hour rule, even if it's different and Facebook changes it, the 48-hour rule is a good, solid rule to play by. So if people have engaged with your page, followed, liked, commented, shared in the last 48 hours, they're likely to see what you're going to do in the next 48 hours. So your audience is only as good as the last 48 hours on your page. So you need to think about this really carefully, in that what you're producing content-wise, if you're producing offers every single day, it will turn people off. So you've got to think about once a day, at least once a day, at least once a day, you need to be producing a piece of content that will get and encourage people to like and comment. So think about what you can engage people to get a like and a comment. And if you look at the Facebook pages that you like and comment, you'll see that a lot of them have very common statistics and common factors. So first of all, most Facebook posts that get high engagement create a conversation. What posts are you writing to create conversation? Are you asking questions? Are you publishing something that requires people to give their opinion? Are you leaving open-ended things there that people can engage with and share and relate to? Are you entertaining people? These are all the reasons that we click like or comment. And actually a like is an easy one, a comment a bit harder, because you really have to stimulate people to get them to comment. So think about, what is it you're posting that's creating a conversation? If you're not creating a conversation, you won't get that like, you won't get that comment, and you definitely won't get that share. So Your content is only as good as the last 48 hours engagement. So think about what you're doing on a daily basis to create engagement. Memes are very, very good at this because they appeal to our humor, our sense of humor, and we like them because they were funny. Likewise, if you put something out there that's a little controversial, it will encourage people to share their opinion. So you think about things that will encourage people to have a conversation. So that's number one. But then the second part of that is, how do you build an audience? How do you build an audience? And this is a real challenge, because what we do is we invite our Facebook friends to like our page just to get the numbers up. But what we really want is people who would buy from us to like and comment and engage with our page and buy from us, whether it be a product or a service. So we have to think about, what are the things that we can do to encourage people to engage with our page. That rhymes. So here's the £1 a day strategy. So 30 quid a month this will cost you, but it will do really, really well. It won't give you mass numbers, but it will give you engaged people. So here's what you need to think about. Every other day, write an engaged post. Yeah, so something that will create a conversation, or will enlist somebody's opinion, or will entertain somebody. And then what you need to do is start to write down your ideal customer profiles. So some businesses will have lots of them. They might have students, they might have older people, they might have older men, they might have younger women, they might have teenagers. You will have a couple of different ideal customer profiles. And what you can do is almost write them down into an imaginary person. And you might have 3 or 4, but write them down into an imaginary person of what these people are like. There's a really good website you can use for this, by the way, is if you find out the interests of your customers, you can go to a site called YouGov Lite Profiles, and you can put in some of the parameters of what are common traits of your ideal customers, and it will tell you other things that they like. So for an example, if you're targeting a certain demographic of women, perhaps they also like this newspaper, this magazine, or this shop or website. And it will give you that information. So YouGov Profiles Lite. So you can create ideal customer profiles that really helps you crystallize who you want to do business with. So once you've got these profiles, and you might have 2, 3 or 4, but start with 1. Because here's the problem: if you build too many audiences on a Facebook page, you will have to do lots of different content to entertain and engage all the different audiences. And again, the 48-hour rule, your engagement comes from the people who've engaged in the last 48 hours. So that's the 48-hour rule. So once you've done that, then you start to write some posts. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to write a post that's targeted to that one of your ideal customer profiles. I want you to share it on your Facebook page. And now that you've got your ideal customer profile and you've got your post that's targeted to your ideal customer profile, here's what you do. You boost that post and use the advertising targets that you've had for your ideal customer profile. So if it's a woman of age 55 plus who loves Marks and Spencer's, who shops in Dorothy Perkins, then you target those parameters. And you can narrow that down further and further, but start with just some broad parameters that match your ideal customer. And then as you get to know people better, you can refine this. So you start that, and I want you to boost that post for £2 for 1 day. So you spend £2 in 1 day. And then the following day, all the people who've liked and commented and engaged with that post, I want you to invite them to like the company page. Everybody with me so far? So invite them to like the company page. That's day 1, it's £2 advert on the post. Day 2 is a normal post for those people. So no advertising. Then day 3, you're going to do another engaging post, a question, a survey, a piece of entertaining content, maybe a meme, maybe a video, something that's not just you promoting your stuff, but something that will engage people. And the easiest way to figure out what engages, would I do this? Would I like this? Would I comment on this? Because if you can't answer that honestly, then it's probably not an engaging piece of content. And you can look at other websites and other Facebook pages to see what engaging content is. And we have some resources on creating engaging content that we can share with you on our YouTube channel. So have a look at that. And then day 3, you're going to do exactly the same thing. So literally what you will do is 15 days out of each month, you will be promoting posts. And 15 days of the month, you'll be inviting the people who've liked and commented to follow your page or like your page. And if you follow that process for say 6-7 months, you will gain an audience who is engaged with your content. So as long as you don't shift your content too much, they'll engage with your content. You can put your other business content in between as long as you don't do too much, because bear in mind, people don't like Facebook pages to get sales offers every day. They like it because you've interested them in some way. People like a Facebook page if they've had a great service. People like a Facebook page if they've been entertained. People like a Facebook page if it's interesting. So you have to be interesting in your page. So you're boosting your posts 15 days out of the month, and the other 15 days out of the month you're still posting, but you are inviting people to like the page. That's a very simple way to do this strategy. Now, if you want to go faster, you can go faster. So you could do £5 every other day. But the key thing is to keep building traction every other day. The 48-hour rule. Every other day, keep boosting. And if you want to do £5 a day or £7 a week in one hit, just remember that may affect the engagement of the new audience, because you're not they're not going to see as much stuff from you. So you have to keep up your posting all the time, day in, day out, day in, day out. Because if you let 48 hours expire, your audience may stagnate and may go flat again. So on top of that, there's a few other things that you can do to help stimulate the growth of your page. So the first one is, if you start to join groups, so if you join some Facebook groups, you can invite and connect and network with people and then invite them to your page. But only connect and network with people who might be relevant. Don't invite all and sundry to your page. Your engagement rate on your page really does matter. So if you've got 100 likes on your page, the statistic I believe is that most pages get less than 4% engagement. So if you've got 100 likes of your page, your engagement rate should be less than 4%. So you need to think about that and go, what am I doing to keep that 4%? Now on 100 likes, that's 4 people. Now if you create an audience that's really targeted and really a proper ideal customer profile, and you really work hard to develop some quality content that will engage them, your engagement rate will increase and increase. But here's the problem. If you have a page with a lot of likes and a very low engagement rate, Facebook may not like that either. So Facebook may not, the fact that you've got 5,000 people like your page but 4 likes, it says something to the people looking at your page, considering whether to follow, whether it's worthwhile following. But it also tells the algorithm that your page isn't very interesting. So it's almost negatively affecting you if you have high followers or high people who like the page but are not engaging with the content. So in some ways, it's better to have 25 people like your page and have 15 people engage with it than it is to have 1,000 people like your page and 15 people engage with it. So you need to think about building the audience very tightly, very focused. And you may have to focus on one audience profile and build it up step by step by step by step. I'm sure you've seen in your own Facebook profile that there's some people you never see their posts. You never see their posts because you've probably not engaged with them often enough for Facebook to think you're interested. And that's the same for your page. If people have not engaged with your page, Facebook thinks you're not interesting enough to show them. Bearing in mind that your profile, your personal profile, is preferenced by Facebook more than your company page. Now, many of you may be using your personal profile to actually grow your audience. You might be using it as a personal but business profile. So you might be in groups, you might be networking, you might be connecting with people you don't quite know, all to build the business. And that's fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it works brilliantly. But you need to keep focusing on building the page, because ultimately that is the bit that will get you found when people are searching for things in Google search, when people are looking for your number, when looking for contacting you. It's the professional element of your business. So you can build using your own personal profile, and a lot of small businesses do this. And solopreneurs will use their personal profile to build a great group of people that they're looking to sell to. But the issue is that in the long term, it doesn't look very professional. So you really have to invest in a page. So just to recap, there's the 48-hour rule, the 48-hour rule. And this is essentially you're only as good as the engagement you've had in the last 48 hours. So think about the post that you're writing so that you create engaging things to keep your audience engaged for 48 hours. If you don't engage people in a 48-hour window, the likelihood is they're not going to see your stuff in the feed. So that's something to consider, really consider. Second one is posting something engaging every day. Post something engaging every day. On Facebook pages, you can post probably 2, 3, 4 times a day, but start small. Do 1 a day or 2 a day. One might be an engaging post, and one might be a businessy post, promoting a service or an offer or what have you. Do that, but then promote your engaging post every other day, even if it's just £2 for 1 day. So it's like £31 a month that you're going to spend to promote your page. Very tiny amounts, but you're only trying to reach a small number of people. If you reach 1 or 2 people a day, of the right people, that's perfect. So reach 1 or 2 people a day, perfect. If you target really well, you may reach more than that. You may make 5 or 6 people, 7 people a day. In that way, you can then invite them to like the page, and you can build the audience. So let's say, for an example, you build your page and you get 1 or 2 people liking your page every other day. In a given month, you'll grow your page by 30 people. If you've done your homework well, that 30 people will actually be 30 ideal customers. So if you continue this strategy, not just for 1 month, but you continue this strategy for 2 or 3 months, you're going to have 100, 200, 300 engaged potential customers with your page. And as they get to engage with it, as you start to learn what they like and will interact with, you will be able to improve what you're doing. Most people start a Facebook page and never see it through, so they never figure out what works. So you have to invest the time in doing it and learning. If you go way over that, you may spend £5, £6, £7 every other day. Fantastic, but you have to hold it up, because you need to build a big enough audience that gets the sufficient engagement to make it worth your while. If you're spending hours on this, you want to see it through. So generally speaking, somebody following the 48-hour rule and the £2 or the £1 a day strategy to grow their Facebook page will see roughly maybe 300-400 people a year follow and connect with their page and like their page. And it's up to you then to decide what you're going to do with those likes. Are you going to engage them? Are you going to keep them interested in you? Are you going to keep your brand and your business in front of them and the services you offer? Or are you going to neglect the engagement page posts that will actually get them to see what you do and interact with your page? Most people think social media is a quick win. Social media is a long haul process. If you want to get customers from social media, you have to work at it. And this £1 a day is a really simple way to get started. that you won't overwhelm yourself, you won't do something that you can't sustain. It's really, really simple. And you can look at other pages in your industry that are doing well and see what's working for them, so that you can not copy what they're doing, but learn from what they're doing. And you can use YouGov Lite to show people exactly, so figure out exactly what your customers and your ideal customer profiles interests are, so you can target them more intelligently on the Facebook ads platform. Some people ask as well at this point is, I'm starting a new page, but how do I get people to like my page when I've got no likes? And this is a tricky one, because we need the page to have a critical mass for people to engage with it. But what you don't want is tons and tons of people out there on your page that do nothing, because then it looks just as bad. So here's a little tip for what you can do to get a page audience, or get a number of likes to make it look like you've got something going on. I would advise you never to go over 100, 200 likes in this route, because it will skew how your page works. So here's how to grow, to quickly get some page likes on your brand new page. So you go into Facebook ads and you do a promote your page advertising campaign. And you may spend £10 to do this. £10 might be too much. And what you do is find the ideal customer profile that you have. So if it's fashion, it's women interested in fashion, or it's men interested in technology, or whatever your ideal profile is. Use the targeting parameters you've got, but target some of the more developing countries. So if you were targeting people in the UK who are interested in fashion, who are over 40, say, you could target people in Brazil who are interested in fashion over 40, or people in India or the Philippines or Mexico who are interested in fashion of the right criteria. Now these people will be really excited to see your stuff and will engage with your page. They will like your page. They won't create customers for you because they're in the wrong country perhaps for you, but it's a great way and a great tip to grow a baseline audience, so that when people look at your page, it doesn't say 10 followers, but it actually says 100 or 200. Don't go nuts with it, because what happens is it will skew your audience. You can comfortably grow your engagement rate to 3 or 4%, even with an audience that is just there for vanity metrics, shall we say, of a follower count. So 48-hour window. You've got a 48-hour window to engage your audience. After that, they may switch off or they may not see your stuff. You need to spend £1 a day boosting posts that are relevant to your target audience, or £2 every other day. If you want to go more, £5 every other day, great, but you have to sustain this for a few months, day in, day out, doing it day in, day out, day in, day out, and it will build. And you're inviting the people who like and comment on your posts that you're boosting to like the page. It's really, really simple, and it's a great way to build your audience. If you've had a page for a long time, and perhaps you've built an audience but you've been very inactive, you can use this strategy in the same way to bring your audience back to life. So you can do the same thing but promote it to the people who like your page, and do £2 every other day, and it will bring your audience back to life. And the key is to sustain it until it sustains itself. So as you get better with your content, and as your audience get more engaged, because if people start to engage with 2 or 3 posts in a given month, they'll start to become more engaged and feel more ownership of who you are in your business, and they'll feel part of it more. So you have to sustain it for a little while, and you'll have to sustain the posts consistently, but it's a great way to liven up your audience really, really quickly, and it's something that's sustainable you can do without breaking the bank. So I hope that's been helpful. If you've got any questions, feel free to message me on the email address I'm going to put here. And if you want to get to know more about how to use Facebook for business, I'd love to talk to you and share more about how we can do that for you.